Anyway, Fiona kept coming back. She's the one that introduced me to Fostering Hope. I started taking classes, started learning about the brain, and I started learning about trauma. And that's what I was dealing with. They had trauma that I didn't know about. And I was trying to raise them the way I was raised because I was raised by two parents. And they were raised by their mother, a single mother, and I don't know what my daughter took them through. And so I was doing it all wrong until I came to Fostering Hope and they started training me on how to deal with the different issues that I was having. I had to go over to ACF. I said, we'll go to ACF. And I went that one time and we continued to go. I've never stopped going because it was good. It was good for them. It was good for me. So they were having this camp. So on the way out of church, she kept saying, well, I want to go to this camp. And I was like, in my mind, we don't have the money. She's not going to this camp. So somebody, as I was walking out the door, touched me on the shoulder and said, what is your email address? I gave them my email address. She sent me an email and said, just sign them up. So in my heart, I kept thinking, I don't have the money. But Janab was persistent. Are you going to look at that email? So I looked at it, signed up the first person, it was free. Signed up the second person, it was free. So all three of those kids went to that camp, and that's when their lives started to change. They really have found Jesus. And they came back to me one by one and said, I'm sorry for the way that I've been treating you. I mean, they would literally fight me. They would hit me. And at night, I would just cry because I just kept telling God, I'm not going to do this. I can't do it. And he just kept telling me, I'm going to help you. He sent people to help me. Fostering Hope was one. If I had never have taken that training, I wouldn't be where I am today with these kids. Their behaviors, yeah, they're still bad. Not bad. It's still difficult some days. It's still difficult some days, but I know a little bit more about sometimes just to give them a hug because that's what they need at that moment. They just need a hug. So they're at ages of 6 through 14. So every one of them has a different personality. Every one of them has a different need. So going through this training here, I got a touch for every kid. So they're 6, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 14. So now I have the teenagers. So I'm going to have to come back for some more training because this is a whole nother phase. Because she's right. Julie was right when she said they're small, but they turn into teenagers. They're going to turn into adults. But just this training has helped me to help them because they didn't know they needed help, and I didn't know that they needed help, and I didn't really know the ins and outs of trauma because I had never experienced trauma in my life. And so I just really, when I started learning about the brain and how to heal the brain, and I learned it here, about there's things that I can do to help their brain, to change their brain around, to make them think differently. So I'm just really blessed that I was able to, that Fiona connected me with Fostering Hope to let me learn about what I was going through. And Fiona, she created something called Team Beverly. And Fiona, she came to court with me when I was going through the court system. I couldn't speak, and sometimes I would always just say, oh, I just wish the judge would just call me one time. So the judge called on me one time, and I had this little speech that I had memorized that I wanted to say. I answered her question, and then I went on further to say what was really going on. And it was a hard process, but Fiona was there with me every step of the way, guiding me, giving me support. And then when she created Team Beverly, when I got the kids, they were all going to be separated. That was the issue. And I was just like, I don't want them separated. I want my grandkids. Well, I'm a single grandparent. So they felt like, no, you're not capable of taking care of 6 kids as a single grandparent. I never thought about the cost. I never thought about what was going to cost me to take care of these kids. I was just worried that they would be separated. But Fiona, she filled in that. She put together Team Beverly. When I needed something at the very beginning, she sent out an email. People would help me. So I think that one step that Fostering Hope probably never thought about, but that's probably something that should be done in Fostering Hope. Creating, when people come in and they say, I don't know what to do, if there's a team behind them, and it's not even about the money, it's about me having time off. Even if it's on a Saturday where I can have my whole day to myself. This is crucial to people who take kids who have trauma. So I'm just grateful that Fiona stepped up the way she did to support me, and she still supports me today. And I remember I called them in the middle of the night. It was her, Kelly, and Reese. I thought I was having a heart attack, but they came over, And so it's just good to know that if something is going on in your life and you don't really know what to do, these people, they're on call, and they don't mind you calling them, and they calm me down. So I don't know if they really realize how much they calm me down in this process because I can't do this alone. I couldn't do it alone, but I was trying, and I didn't want anybody to know. I didn't want anybody to know that I was struggling, and I was crying at night. I was just like, nobody needs to know about that part. But when I started letting people know, that gave me relief to get it off my shoulder and have support to help me. So I just really say Fostering Hope, when I first came, to the first class, I was crying. You know, I was sitting there with teacher and I was crying, and then every time I came to another class, it helped me more and more. And so now I am going to come back for some more classes because I'm dealing with teenagers now, and that's a whole nother level that I need to learn more about, because even them as teenagers, it's not like when I was a teenager. So I couldn't raise them the way I was raised. It's a specialty raising. But God is helping me to be able to do this and give me strength along the way, and putting people in my life who support me. That's huge for me. So I thank you all.